Right then, where can you go this evening? I hear you, Chunder.
It's the Andy Snowden radio show. It's the Andy Snowden radio show. It's the Andy Snowden radio show. It's the Andy Snowden radio show.
What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. 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 I'm going downtown tonight. What's going on?
So, as I said earlier, last week I had an interview with the director of War with the Newts from the Naive Theatre Company. They're playing up at Theatre Clwyd. They were there last night and they are there this evening as well. If you didn't hear that interview, you can check it out on the Calon FM webpage. That's www.calonfm.com, and go to the Listen Again feature. Press on Stage and Screen Show, and you can listen to last week's show where I was speaking, as I say, to the director, Tyrrell Jones, who gives a fantastic insight into this brilliant new work that's going on with this Naive Theatre Company. It's called The War with the Newts, and that is playing up at Theatre Clwyd in the Emlyn Williams Theatre. That is on this evening, £10 for tickets. I will give you the box office number straight after we hear about this. Now, so like many millions of us, when we were at school, we might have studied William Golding's classic novel, The Lord of the Flies. Did you do it? Did you do it? I did. It tells the story of a group of schoolboys stranded on a desert island after a plane crash. Put my teeth in, and it's a classic observation of how human nature works. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, Theatre Clwyd have reimagined this production with an all-girl cast. It's an all-female cast. Personally, I thought I would work a lot better with schoolgirls possibly being a lot crueler than boys. Do you know what I mean? They can be nasty. There are some absolutely stellar performances from this predominantly young cast. Notably, Gina Fillingham, who plays Piggy. Brilliant she is. And also as well, Olivia Marcus, who plays Simon, and incidentally she's making her professional debut. Absolutely fantastic she is. And also as well, Kate Lamb, who plays Jack. So, Kate, who you may know from Call the Midwife, she plays the part of Delia Busby. She's a regular on Call the Midwife. I caught up with her after the show at the after show party, and well, here's what she had to say. Here she is, Miss Kate Lamb. Fantastic. First things first.
Right,
absolutely
thanks.
Fantastic. It looks like a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, well, it was great fun. We've just got a massive playground where we get to run around and, get covered in mud and blood and all those sorts of things that I loved as a child. So, an excuse to keep doing it is, yeah. I'm up for it.
About 3 or 4 months ago, this was advertised that this was going to happen. An all-female Lord of the Flies. Now, it was obviously, that raises a bit of interest. But it was only on the way home I thought to myself, this is probably one of the only plays where you could actually do that with it without messing about with it too much. I mean, you only had to put the he's to she's. Everything else is pretty much the same, is it not?
Essentially, yeah, that's all we did. So really all we did fundamentally with the script was change the pronouns. We've kept the names because the names are kind of iconic. Anyone who's studied it, you want to know who Ralph is, you want to know who Jack is, you want to know who Roger is. Those names we didn't want to mess around with the names either. So it really was just pronouns, and then everything else is just human interaction. It's just human types. It's it's sort of alpha, beta, omega. It's all just that sort of tussling that all humankind experiences. There's nothing that's specific really to gender within it. It was amazing how quickly we realised it would. It works.
Yeah, it does, and you very quickly buy into it as well. You don't think, oh, this is meant to be for. It's meant to be lads, this. It actually works really, really well. Yeah. And then you just mentioned you studied it. I studied it in school.
Yeah.
And she was saying on the way here that it's not the literature students that are coming to see it from her college. Politics students are coming to see it. So they're sort of like seeing the observations of human interaction. that way around. I thought that was quite interesting.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I'd not known that was on the politics curriculum, but that is really fascinating. And definitely in rehearsals, we've had discussions about Brexit. We've had discussions about Trump. That we've looked at political speeches in our first week. Thatcher. Sort of who. Those sorts of. How you can win people over, or how you can turn people off, or how do you get more bees with honey, or do you have to be a firm leader? Do you have to all of that sort of that you see that, and the great example of that in our world now is politics, is people who've been elected to power or have grappled their way up. So that was a huge influence to us. So actually, it makes perfect sense that people who are studying politics.
But it is though, because when I studied it in school, I never saw that at all. I just saw it as, I saw it as a child watching young lads or lasses on a desert island. That sounds brilliant. But it's that kind of almost like a Big Brother thing where you watch that hierarchy of the stronger ones becoming the leaders and the younger ones just sort of coming on behind. The writing of it's really clever, actually.
Yeah. I think Golding's poetry is amazing, and I think the book is wonderful for that and all of those things. I think it's a really bleak view of the world. Personally, it doesn't chime with my own view. I'm quite an optimist, and I do believe in the good and in that human beings can be good to each other. And they're not just selfish or power hungry. Obviously there are those people, and those people can be unstoppable. That's the because their drive is so much stronger than anyone else's, the little ones or whatever. Even if Ralph had become a benevolent leader, if Jack maybe hadn't been there, or if we'd listened to Piggy, there are so many ifs within it. That we just keep going. Oh well, if we didn't think there was a beast, maybe fear wouldn't have won. If we didn't, it's all those different things that have come in, and we just go, oh, this is why it all goes wrong. It's like, no, actually, well, this really, and this thing, and it's just dominoes, and it's just things that just everything that could go wrong goes wrong, which is why I don't like the story personally, because I don't want that view of the world. I don't want to.
No, I think you're absolutely right, and it is interesting as well how they snap out of it straight away without ruining it for people.
Yes.
When the ending happens like it does.
Absolutely. We always knew from the get-go, reverting back to little girls. At this point, when there's just girls on the island, they come out of their gender stereotypes. They come out of those roles that they're expected to fulfil, or the roles that they've fulfilled in society before this point, and then they create a world of their own with different positions and ways of being, and they create an entirely new world with new rules. The rules of chaos and power, and then, like you say, not ruining it. There's a point when suddenly they become little girls again. It's actually, for my character, pretty devastating in many ways to lose what she's grappling for. I mean, she never has a great time, but I think there's definitely a loss at the end there as well. But
it's a fantastic bit of work. It's really, really exciting to watch.
Oh, great. It's exciting to be in it, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you played Theatre Clwyd before?
No, it's my first Sherman. Honestly, it's the first time on a Welsh stage since I did Youth Theatre Torch in Milford Haven.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, it's a really lovely homecoming to be jumping and rolling around.
Well, I'll let you crack on. I'll have to ask, is there any more from Call the Midwife, or is that is it done?
For me, never say never. Delia, the character's got... it had an open ending there, so of course I'd love to go back and love to see what Delia gets up to next. But currently she's off with Patsy, I think.
Did you tell her? No, no, no. Give them kisses? No, no, no. Whisper her name? No, no, no. Not Alexis? Hell no.
So there you go, that is Kate Lamb taking on the part of Jack in this new production of The Lord of the Flies, playing up at Theatre Clwyd at this present time. Kicked off on Wednesday with its press night and runs until the 13th of October before, as we heard there, heads down south to Cardiff to the Sherman Theatre. So, War with the Newts, I keep making that mistake. War with the Newts is playing in the Anthony Hopkins Theatre, beg your pardon, the Emily Williams Theatre, and Lord of the Flies is in the Anthony Hopkins Theatre. As I say, until the 13th of October. To book tickets for this fantastic production, 01352 701 521. That's 01352 701 521. Go ahead, support your local theatres, ladies and gentlemen. They won't be there forever if you don't.